Well, good evening and welcome to Manchester, the Matchroom Fight Bubble. It is fight week and it is Joshua Buatsi against Daniel Dos Santos with a packed undercard. Welcome to the media stream. You can see behind me that things are nearly ready. Our MC, David Diamante, will be bringing the fighters to you. Remember, wherever you're watching this stream, send in some questions, send in some comments and we'll get through them. For now, I'll get over to MC David Diamante, who's going to bring on our first fighter.
Thank you, Andy. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are in Manchester, England for a great weekend of fights taking place this Saturday night at the AO Arena here in Manchester, England. And we've got 7 fights on the card with 5 titles. And today we are hosting the open workout. So our first fighter that's coming up today, he's making his much anticipated professional debut. He fights out of Birmingham, England. And he's the 2017 National Championship gold medalist and a former Team GB amateur standout. Please welcome to the ring for the very first time, Saul, the real deal Dakers.
So, a long-awaited debut for Solomon Dakers, the 27-year-old from Birmingham. He is a big man, 6'5", with a long reach of 77 inches. He's got a good training team with him as well. Already bumped into Max Mccarthy, who you can see has got the pads on there. And Sol's been waiting a long time, former GB amateur star. There's been a few delays getting his licence over the line and 1 or 2 things with the board, so we expected to see him a couple of times already, but finally, I think he's a bit like a caged animal. He's ready to go. So let's see what we're going to find out here. Manager Sam Jones is with us. Sam, I'm just going to bring you in now, live on the stream, just while Solomon's over your shoulder, just on that white cross, that's perfect. Solomon's just warming up over your shoulder, so before he hits some pads, a chance for you to give him the big sell. We've heard a lot about him.
Yeah.
What can we expect from Sol Dakers?
I think you're going to see like a really patient performance, but he's naturally aggressive as well. He's got a good jab. He's got really fast hands. He's been sparring the best. I mean, when Daniel and Joe Joyce and Daniel DeBar were boxing, he was the sparring partner for both guys. So he's sparred countless rounds with Anthony Joshua, and I think you're going to see a brand new heavyweight in the mix.
You're excited about him,
yeah,
aren't you? What's he like as a character? Because obviously we're going to find out about him in the ring, but what's he like as a character?
He's a really good guy. He's a really good guy. It's been a bit frustrating. I mean, waiting for the licence to go through. I think we've still got the last meeting today, which should hopefully be routine, and then he's good to go. But he's a great lad, and as I say, hopefully we see some little flashes of what he can do in the little warm up now.
So I'm just going to ask you to come join me over here, and we can see the man in action. Just going through a little bit of a shadow boxing routine. Another very good rugby player back in his day as well. There's a bit of a trade. With Nick Campbell and Johnny Fisher. There's a few of them coming through now, but he was a very, very good amateur. So I've got written down English Elite Senior ABA Super Heavyweight Champion in 2017, GB Squad. But they've got a lot of good heavyweights on there. Fraser Clark obviously occupying that #1 spot. He didn't want to hang around, so why not turn pro? Is that the thought process?
Yeah, I think that was what it is. I mean, Fraser's occupied the #1 spot, and Fraser's been on the squad a long time now, and rightfully so. Fraser's going to get the chance to hopefully go to Tokyo and hopefully bring back a medal for Great Britain. Sol didn't want to waste any more time. He's 27 years old, and he can move a bit faster than, say, like a Johnny Fisher, who I have on my books as well. He can move a bit faster than that. We will be looking at names towards the end of the year, like an Alan Babbage, maybe even like a Fabio Wardley as well.
You wanted to go big on his debut, though, didn't you? Was it Chris Lovejoy originally, who obviously 19-0?
Yeah.
Look, he's a bit of a mystery man, but you had no problems with Sol getting in there with him. If it hasn't happened as it was, but you had no problems with that.
No, I've seen Chris Lovejoy spar, and I've obviously watched Sol spar, and I know Sol's got the tools to deal with him, no problem. I mean, as I say, it's this fight we're gonna. Hopefully, Sol's gonna look good. Get him out and get him feel with the smaller gloves on, and then his second fight, you're going to see probably a statement win in his second fight as well.
You made the comparison with Johnny Fisher there. Matching heavyweights isn't easy. Danny Whittaker is the opponent. 6 fight, 4 wins, 2 defeats.
No, it's not Danny Whittaker.
It's not Danny Whittaker.
It was.
Tell us, can you give us an exclusive? Who is it?
Manev is his name is. He was a good amateur as well, but Sol was originally meant to fight Danny Whittaker, but I think Danny's having some area type fight. Good luck to him, and to be fair, I wouldn't want to fight Sol on his debut either.
Yeah, okay, apologies to Danny Whittaker.
I saw that on the paper.
Yeah, you should have told me. This looks like a good fit, Max Mccarthy.
Yeah.
What sort of fighter will he try and mould with Sol? I'm saying that quietly because the music dipped and I don't want him to think that we're talking about him, but what sort of fighter can we expect? Good fundamentals, but obviously there's, I don't want to stereotype Max Mccarthy, but you know, he's good at training aggressive fighters as well.
He's got that aggression in him, and Max is an experienced guy. It's a really good fit. Obviously, they're both from Birmingham. That's not the only reason, but they gel really well together. And you can see, like here, Sol's got really fast hands. Very patient. Like he's got a good poker face as well, which is what you need. And he's got very, very good big power as well. So really looking forward to seeing what he can do under the lights.
It is a natural question to ask always. I don't want to put pressure on people at those stages, but you will have sort of basic goals for someone like Sol. Are you looking, you know, what's a minimum achievement for him?
A minimum achievement, he'll be a world level fighter. I mean, the goal for Sol, if you ask him, is to be a world champion. Sol could have played top level rugby, but he chose to box because he's good at it. I mean, you look at the trajectory, as I say, I mentioned Johnny Fisher. Johnny Fisher's got a long way to go. He's got limited amateur experience. Sol's 27 years old and we can move him a lot faster. I expect Sol to be challenging for the British title in the middle part of next year.
How regularly do you want to get him out? If you ask the fighter that question, they'll say every week.
Yeah.
It is a learning process, and it's learning fights, and it's taking fights at the right time.
Yeah.
But these first couple of years are, you know, it's all going to be baby steps, but again, the journey has to be the right one.
A bit of a faster trajectory for Sol due to his amateur experience and the fact he's 27, he's mature. As I say, I would be expecting Sol. I'd be disappointed if Sol wasn't fighting for a British title by at least the middle part of next year. Because as I say, he's top level, he's top draw, and people will see that on Saturday.
I'm absolutely loving this Twitter train of like Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, tired of waiting, which has then got Joe Joyce tweeting, which has then got Pat Wardley tweeting.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little bit of an update what your understanding is of everything that's going on, which obviously has a big impact on your man Joe Joyce?
Yeah, well, Usyk, plain and simple, doesn't want to fight Joe. But if he wants to challenge for the WBO, keep his status as WBO number one, he's going to have to, because so we've heard for months now, AJ and Fury's...
You're hearing the same thing.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat. So hopefully the AJ Fury situation gets resolved, and that's going to get announced this week. And then Joe Joyce, we will make the fight as soon as possible with Usyk, because Joe won't be pulling out of that situation. Hence the reason why we're not looking for a fight elsewhere. We're solely focused on the WBO number one spot and Alexander Usyk.
That will obviously then push the British title vacant, and that will then get that is not if you ask Joe, but that will then get interesting though, won't it?
Yeah, Joe's a proud holder of the British title belt, but you should imagine if Joe's fight with Usyk goes through, then that be the next step would be to vacate. But Joe's not in a rush to vacate the belt, because you never quite know what's going to happen. But then you can probably see, I don't know, Fabio Wardley fight a Nathan Gorman, someone like that. It's a great heavyweight fight. But I want to get Sol involved in that as soon as possible.
Yeah, okay, well, you've done the big sell. Very exciting. Thank you for coming up and joining us. We're going to hear from Solomon Dakers straight after this, I think. So,
Real Deal Dakers will be coming over Saturday night. His professional debut, Team GB amateur standout from the West Midlands, Sol Dakers.
okay, so Sol is just going to have a couple of photos taken, and he can come over here. We'll have a chat to him. So if anyone's got any questions, send them in. Yes, wherever you want to go, Sam. Wherever you want to go. So for those of you asking, fight is on Saturday night, so 15th of May. Buatsi v Dos Santos. Okay, so Sol Dakers, testament to his height, is going over the top rope, and they are going to shortly bring him round to our live stream, and we're going to have a quick word with Sol Dakers, who makes his professional debut on Saturday, although we've lost him. I can see just entering the room is Dorton Smith, who's going to be our next fighter on the card. He obviously takes on Lee Appleyard for the English title. Sol Dakers just putting on his tracksuit top.
Bring up our next fighter for the open workout. And he'll be fighting in the 10-round contest for the vacant English Super Lightweight Championship. His professional record thus far perfect: 7 fights, 7 victories, 6 of them coming by way of knockout. He's the hard-hitting, fast-rising prospect fighting out of the Steel City of Sheffield, England. Please welcome Dalton Thunder Smith.
So Dorton Smith's just going to start his public workout. Sol Dakers is going to come and join us on the stream. No, Sol, you can come around this way. Just going to stand you on the white bit of tape on the floor there. Lovely to meet you. Finally, it's been a bit of a long wait. I suppose there is a little bit of frustration waiting on the sidelines, itchy knuckles. It's coming now on Saturday, your professional day. We're just how excited. Sum up how you're feeling for us.
Yeah, very excited. Like you say, it's been a long wait. Scheduled to go out March 20th on the Acoli card. Was getting ready for that a couple of weeks before, not quite things in place to get out. So I've been training hard the whole time, and to be honest, I just wanted to have the fight now because the training's been so hard. Just looking forward to get the fight done out of the way, then on to the next one then.
I suppose it's sort of silver lining, it's giving you a little bit more time in the gym to work under Max McCracken. Sam Jones, your manager's just giving you the big sell here, telling us what we can expect. In your own words, what do you want to show us on Saturday night?
Yeah. Saturday, I just want to show that I've got some pedigree, and I'm going to show a bit of my style, of course, and that I'm a real fighter, I'm a good fighter, and you know, you won't see everything in a 6-round fight, but hopefully I can show bits and bobs of what I'm about and start to improve on. The main thing is that I'm not the finished article. I'm going to improve, but show that I've got a good base and I'm starting at a good point, definitely.
Very good amateur, winning titles, and obviously part of that very successful GB squad. Felt that it was the right time to try a hand as a professional, though?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm 27 years old. For a heavyweight, that's relatively young, so turning out in the game now, start to mature even more, you know, in your early 30s, so I've got a few years to mature as a heavyweight. I've got the experience on GB. I've been on there 4 years, boxed all around the place, so no better time to turn pro, really.
Well, international amateurs, but we also sparred some of the best Britain has to offer. I mean, and by all accounts, the stories we're hearing is that you did very, very well. I mean, what an experience for you to share the ring with Dubois, with AJ, with Fraser Clark, with Siobhan Clark. I mean, I'm sure I'm missing hundreds out there, but that must just give you so much confidence that you can hold your own and do well in those spars.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I've had the international experience, but all the heavyweight actions in Britain, to be honest, and we've got some of the top fighters in the world. Like I said, I've been able to spar with them continuously over the years, and you develop and pick little things up, and it's great to have in Britain as well. And we've got a great domestic heavyweight scene, and I'm just looking forward to bursting onto it and hopefully getting to the top.
Yeah, Sam Jones, again, I don't want to put any pressure on you. I don't want to do it. But he said for us, we wouldn't do this. British title is the minimum that we want to achieve. Do you echo that?
Yeah, absolutely. British title is a great title, and it's a great benchmark to win. And I'd love to win that, but I am looking at going all the way and winning world titles. That's my ambition at the end of the day, and I don't want to sell myself short because I know I'm capable of it. I've just got to put the hard work in, and it's a long road, and I'm willing to take it.
So I know you would have shifted a hell of a lot of tickets for your pro debut. Look, it's boxing behind closed doors. You nearly got to the fan section, but do you want to give a message to everyone that's going to have to watch on TV, which is not ideal for you, but I mean, what a great platform.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great platform to watch on the TV, and hopefully for a lot of people that wanted to come to this one, hopefully my next fight, we should be able to get the tickets out and start bringing people in. So hopefully it's just this debut, and then the next one we'll get people there, definitely.
Go well on Saturday. Thanks for joining us. Nice one, thank you. Sol Dakers makes his professional heavyweight debut on Saturday night. That will be the first televised fight on the card. So let's get back to the action in the ring, which is Dalton Smith, who you can see in the ring there, just getting gloved up. It's a father-son team. His dad, Grant Smith. Have to give a big shout out to the whole gym. Obviously, another world champion recently crowned in Sonny Edwards. Congratulations to Sonny. Almost faultless performance. So well done to the whole team. Grant Smith said he drove back on the night, didn't sleep, went straight into the gym because he didn't have time to rest on his laurels, straight back in because Dalton Smith was training the very next day. So congratulations to all of them. So this is a fight we've actually been waiting for a while. Lee Appleyard, part of that very successful gym up in Doncaster with Steffi Ball, contracted COVID. So this fight was supposed to happen back in February the 13th, which was the Josh Warrington Lara undercard. So it's happening now, and it is a good match for both fighters. So I don't want to overplay this, but I think it is fair to say that they have very, very high hopes for Dalton Smith. Just his 8th fight. This is the vacant English super lightweight title. You can see in the comment section quite a few of you asking what time should we expect the main event ring walks. So it's difficult to say because it is a packed undercard, but I think we are safe to assume that the main event ring walks will be around 10:30 p.m. So we've been talking about the very, very talented GB squad. Dorton Smith was obviously a product of that. Suffered with a couple of niggling injuries when he turned over. I know he obviously had a bad hand injury when he boxed in the WBS, which he's overcome now, and you can obviously see he's punching pain-free on the pads there. 6 wins inside the distance, so 6 of 7 inside the distance. Only done 24 rounds as a pro since he made his debut back in 2019. It is a step up in class and quality for Dalton Smith compared to who he's boxed previously. Appleyard's been 10 rounds 4 times and 12 rounds once. And this is a title that he's won, albeit at lighter weight. He won the English lightweight title when he stopped the unbeaten Stephen Brogan in sits. So just run you through the full bill on Saturday night. We have the top of the bill, which is Joshua Buatsi against Daniel Dos Santos, the unbeaten French light heavyweight, with a supporting cast of 3 European bouts. Gamal Yafai takes on Jason Cunningham, a stablemate of Lee Appleyard. Obviously just spoke about that. Dalton Smith in the ring now takes on Lee Appleyard for the vacant English super lightweight title. Lerone Richards takes on Giovanni De Carolis for the European super middleweight title. De Carolis is a former belt holder, regular version of the WBA. And we've got the big boys, the European cruiserweight title. First defence for Belfast Tommy McCarthy against Alex Jur, the Romanian challenger.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, the undefeated Dalton Smith, and big hand also for his head trainer and father, Grant Smith, in the house, ladies and gentlemen. 10 rounds, and we're going for the vacant English Super Lightweight Championship on Saturday night against Lee Appleyard. Should be a cracking fight.
Okay, so Dalton Smith has just had his photos taken, and he's going to come and join us up on the stream. Keep your questions coming in. Dalton Smith's just going to take his gloves off and make his way up on stage. So that is part of our undercard on Saturday night. Dalton Smith, Lee Appleyard for the vacant English super lightweight title. Perhaps a fight that has come a bit quicker than he might have expected, but he's moving at a rate of knots. Let's just see his opponent making his way to the ring.
Please welcome Lee Appleyard.
So Lee Appleyard's just going to jump in, and Dorton Smith is going to come and join us on the scene. Just on that mark on the floor there, Dorton. Dorton, this is a fight that we thought we'd be talking about back in February, but COVID put paid to that. You get your chance now. Just how much are you looking forward to it on Saturday? What do you think we can expect between the two of you and Lee Appleyard?
You know, this fight with me and Lee, you know, I was excited for it before, but you know, it's worked out better now. We're able to get the English on the line, and also Lee's able to have a full camp. So, you know, I'm expecting a lively fight. But I feel like this is going to be the fight where you see the best of me, and you're going to see what I'm actually about.
He's a seasoned operator, and he knows what he's doing. You've sparred with him. I know previously you said, look, we don't read into those spars. We're different fighters compared to what we were back then. But in terms of a style and a fight, is this going to be a fan-friendly fight? You've both got fan-friendly styles.
If I clash head on with him, you know, it could be a fan-friendly fight. But you know, I really feel his style's suitable for me, and I feel like I'll break him up throughout the rounds. But you know, a lot of respect for Lee. We're friends in and out of the ring. Obviously, it's just business on Saturday, and we're friends after. But you know, it's business. It's just business, and I'm very confident in a top performance.
What about the progress that you feel that you've been making? Look, we're putting a lot of hype behind you. Eddie Hearn's putting a lot of hype behind you. It doesn't seem to ever bother you. You've got a very level head, but you obviously have a huge amount of self-confidence as well. Is this the right fight at the right time?
Yeah, 100%. And you know, that's why we took it before. We felt like Lee was, you know, that next step up what we needed, and that's what we've got. That's why we scheduled it back in. And like you say, it's all hype. I've still got a lot more backing up to do, and you know, every fight I believe I'm improving. My level of opposition is stepping up. So you know, I've just got to keep on winning.
It's a bit of a boxing cliche, but success breeds success, and you've got another world champion in the gym, another world champion trained by your dad, Sonny Edwards. Has he been into the gym with the belt? Have you had a look at it and thought, yeah, I want a bit of that?
He's been in the gym, but his belt's not turned up yet.
Oh, no, actually, I saw that on Twitter. He wasn't happy, was he?
No, he wasn't happy, so you know, he's waiting on his belt. But yeah, like I said, you know, success breeds success, and it's just nice for me to see my dad get the credit. I've seen him work for years and years. And I'm not just saying it, I believe my dad's one of the best countries in the world. So it was just nice for me. He don't like to get on the camera.
Well, I've asked him to come up, and he's hiding behind a pillar down there. So, yeah, all respect to your dad, but I can't give him the plaudits on camera. You'll have to do it.
That's it. You know, he's not one for the cameras. He just likes to, you know, he just likes training his fighters, and his rewards are seeing us win and achieve things. So, you know, I'll have to speak on behalf of him, but I'm as his son, I'm proud.
Brilliant. Well, wish you all the best on Saturday. Go well. Thank you for coming up and joining us. Top man. Okay, so let's go over to the action in the ring. Steffi Ball is on what you would call the noodles there. I think it's a birthday boy. Ray Doyle, part of the training team, is going to come and join us. And Ray, first things first, this is a big night for Lee Appleyard, and one he's waited a long time for. But just briefly, Terry Harper, I mean, your heart goes out to her. What is it, the very last spar? And she busts her hand, the hand that she has got the pins in. We've seen the photos out on social media today. It looks a horror injury. She's been in for surgery, and that's gone well. But as a group, you must have been so disappointed and gutted for her.
Yeah, because it got so close, and obviously there's big aspirations for Terry. We know the talent that she's got, and the goal is undisputed, and that were another step closer. We've had to try and take the positives from it, that it's just a delay for the time being, but she couldn't have gone into that fight. The surgeon advised that the work needed to be done again on her hand, and obviously as a team we're gutted. There's been so much work put into it, and you've just got to be patient that a time will come and it'll be rescheduled.
Just one of them nightmare scenarios, that it was just the angle at which she caught her hand as she was sparring, as she turned her hand over, or did she hit an elbow? What was it? Did she even know?
I think it's just the nature of the beast. Boxing is just such a brutal sport that things can go at any time because of the impact that it has on the body. It's like no other sport, and obviously she did have the injury from the Thunders fight, and I can only think that it's just maybe not healed as quick as what they thought, or it's caused it, whatever it is in the final sport, it's caused it to go again. But fingers crossed, they seem to think that it's not as bad as what it sounds or looks with the pins and things like that, and we've just got to keep taking the surgeon's advice to hope that she gets back to being 100% fully fit.
Yeah, everyone at Sky Sports Boxing, Matchroom Boxing, everyone watching sends their best wishes to Terry Harper, who's recovering from surgery, so hopefully we will see her sooner rather than later. Lee Appleyard, what a servant to British boxing, and talk about having to wait your chance out. He gets it now. you know, he looks fired up. We spoke to him earlier. He looks the part. He's been in training a very long time. He's had his fair share of bad luck with COVID coming in at the wrong time. I suppose he can turn that into a positive and say, look, it's given me more time to prepare. He gets his shot, but it is against a very talented Dorton Smith. I'm sure you guys are under no illusions of how good Dorton is, but Lee looks bang up for it, and as a team, you look bang up for it as well.
Yeah, you've just hit the nail on the head there. We're under no disillusion that how talented Dalton is. We're obviously South Yorkshire based ourselves. We know all about Dalton, and we know how exceptionally talented he is. But Lee is a very determined kid, and I think the fact that he just jumped at the fight to challenge Dalton when there ain't many people lining up to challenge Dalton shows what type of fighter he is. He wants his chance. He's worked really, really hard, and I do think that if you're going to get Dalton, this is the time to get him, because Lee is a proven championship fighter. We know the talent that Dalton has got, but until he gets over the line, then these are the type of fights that he's going to have to take, and Lee will, no disrespect to any opponent that Dalton has fought, but Lee will not be coming to lie down. He will be coming to put his all come Saturday night, and this is what we've worked as a team so hard for, to bring the fans an epic tussle for that English title, the title on the line, a proper title. It means everything to Lee, and it means everything to us as a team to be victorious on Saturday night.
Don't want you to sort of give game plans away or anything like that. I wouldn't expect you to. But Dorton Smith, with someone that achieved so much in the amateurs and looked the complete package, have you seen anything in the pros that you think, look, okay, maybe he doesn't do it as well as other things? You know, I'm not saying it's a weakness, but something that you feel that Lee can do that other people can't, perhaps?
To be honest, no, because the distance that his contests have gone. It's very difficult to pick things from contests and stuff like that when it's basically just been one-sided for Dalton. We've got to try and make that where it's not one-sided for Dalton, and see how he reacts then. Obviously been studying lots of his WSBs and things like that and stuff to see when the level of competition goes up and fatigue kicks in against a higher level, when he makes the mistakes then. But as far as his professional career, as far as what you've seen on Sky Sports at the minute, it's very difficult to pick faults, because it has been one-sided. So we've had to look deeper and things like that to try and find that when he's put under pressure, or when things are evened out, the mistakes that he does make.
Thank you so much for coming and joining us on the stream. Wish you all the best on Saturday night, and send our best wishes to Terry Harper.
Thank you very much, Andy. Cheers.
Okay, so Lee is going to have a quick word with us on the stream. Our open workout is going to continue. Lee, I'm just going to pause you there just because I think the next fighter is ready. I can see Mark Dunlop, the menacing figure from Belfast, silhouetted in the door, so I can only guess that this is going to be Tommy Mccarthy.
Bantamweight Championship coming up into the ring at this time, the challenger. His professional record, 28 victories, 6 defeats, 6 knockouts. He's the former Central Area, former English, and former two-weight Commonwealth champion, fighting out of Doncaster. Here is the Iceman, Jason Cunningham.
I say a menacing figure in the doorway. It must have been the reflection of Jason Cunningham who stepped into the ring. Let's bring in Lee Appleyard, because this is a perfect link here. Gym mate is just going through the motions. Can I just stand you on the spot there? Lee, Ray Doyle's just come in and told us everything about your preparation, and what a nightmare it's been for you. Yeah. But I suppose you've got to stay true and believe that your chance is going to come. It comes now. Yeah. Just how ready are you for Saturday night? And how important is all that frustration that you've had, putting it into action on Saturday?
Yeah, I've put it all into training. That's what I've done. I've put it all into training. It's here now. Everything happens for a reason. This is the reason. I'm going in with a highly talented lad. I'm delighted to share the ring with him. But under no illusion, trust me, I'm going in there and I'm going to win Saturday night. There's no doubt. I'm not there to make the numbers up. I'm not here for a payday. I'm going in to win. I've trained my knackers off and I'm ready.
What's the best way to beat someone like Dorton Smith? You will have your game plan. Again, I just said this to Ray. I'm not going to ask you to give it away. But have you seen something in Dorton that you think, yeah, I can exploit that? You have sparred on numerous occasions, so it's not like you're going into the unknown. I know sparring is sparring. There's a boxing cliche for you, but you must have some confidence that you know what you're going in against.
Yeah, look, we've shared, I think we're only about 5 rounds, but yeah, listen, Dalton's so far been punch perfect, but he's been punch perfect for a reason. The fighters that he's gone in with have not tested him. Probably the best test he had with Nathan Bennett. But then you start looking at records and reading into it. Nathan Bennett got beat by Ben Fields, I beat Ben Fields. So when you start looking at it, there's levels in boxing. And I believe I'm British and Commonwealth level. I'm not saying I'm going to be a world champion, because I'm not stupid, but I believe I'm above English. And this fight really, even for an English, it should be for a British title, let's be fair. Whoever wins should be fighting for the British Commonwealth or something bigger after. But what an opportunity. I'm sure if he's supposed to be as good as he's supposed to be and I beat him, I should be taking that place and obviously let me move on with my career.
It would have been very easy for you to lose your cool, sulk, throw your toys out the pram. You caught COVID at probably the worst possible time. You could have caught it just before the fight was ready to be announced. And I don't know, do you feel like, you know, you were right to stick at it? Would have been, like I say, would have been very easy to sulk and you know, put on a few pounds and watch from home. Did you think the chance had gone?
I'll be honest, I was down. Like, seriously, I was down. Boxing's my life, but Eddie Hearn put a bit of faith back in. He tweeted saying, look, stay ready, you'll get another chance. And I believe Eddie's a man of his word, and he were. And that you don't realise what that tweet meant. I literally rang my manager, Steffi, said, I was, listen, mate, everything's good. Let's get back in and we'll crack on. And everybody wanted the fight as well. It's a local derby. They know it's a good fight. I don't care what the bookies say, how much they're writing me off. People know this is a proper fight and what I'm going to come and do. So, yeah, I knew it was going to happen. So it was just a case of keeping focused. I've had plenty of people back me with my sponsors, and they've allowed me to train full time for 9 weeks. Not a 3-week fight. It was only 3 weeks before. That would have been a different ball game. It'd have been a lot harder. Now I've had 9 weeks. Trust me, I am ready. There's no doubt in my mind I am ready.
I'm off camera laughing because I've just remembered that in the bubbles that you came along to, obviously, I mean it in a nice way, a bit of a gym rat, you stay in the gym, you're happy to travel around, do house seconds with Ray Doyle, you come in the bubble with Terry Harper, and at the time you were prepared to take fights well above your weight. I remember you saying to Stephen Ball, look, such and such as I won't give any names, but such and such has asked, I can do that weight, I can do this weight. Yeah. You're a bit of a throwback, if you don't take that as an insult, a bit of a throwback that you are willing to fight if the kit's ready and the money's right.
Yeah, I will fight anyone. That's not being egotistic or anything like that. I will fight anyone, and I'll take it at short notice as well, but that's just me. I know this fight with Dalton got offered to, I heard Dalton saying 50-some other fighters. No one wanted it. As soon as it were offered, I took it. Dropping that, I took it, and that's because I believe in myself, and self-belief takes you a lot further than anything else. And trust me, I'm going in there, like I say, on Saturday night, believing I'm going to win, and that's what I'm going to do.
Listen, I wish you all the best of luck. What I do like is that the barbers have been shut, so you've gone for the war haircut, which we've always known you as a short-haired man. I love it. It looks a great look.
Flick it, Matt, move me head a bit quicker.
Yeah, that's the target. Thank you very much. They go well. Thank you, mate. Okay, let's get straight over to what we're seeing in the ring now. So this is Jason Cunningham, who obviously fights Gamal Yafai for the European Super Bantamweight title. Gamal's making the first defence against former 2-weight Commonwealth champion Jason Cunningham, who is in the ring with trainer Ray Doyle, who again is on what I would call swimming lesson apparatus, but it's very much caught on. I saw a couple of Cuban coaches using the noodles, and now we're definitely using it as a technique that's widely seen. The narrative with this one is something that we don't see too often. So Jason, another sort of veteran of the sport who will fight anyone at the drop of a hat, and one of those on his CV is Gamal's older brother, Cal Yafai, obviously former world champion. They boxed at super flyweight for the British title. That was in Birmingham, October 2015, which feels like a lifetime ago. I have to say, Cal Yafai is around the bubble. He doesn't look any different, and Jason Cunningham doesn't look any different either. So Jason's got a bit of the Benjamin Button going on, and we've already had a chance to speak to. We've all had a chance to speak to Jason today, and he was talking about the defeat to Reece Bellotti, how he doesn't feel that Gamal hits as hard as Reece Bellotti, and reminded us all of the success he was having in that fight, and said for the first time in his career he actually got complacent, felt that he was winning the fight easy, got caught, and that was the end of that. He said, I will not make that mistake again. Obviously Gamal Yusufai's response to that was, if he thinks I can't punch, I cannot wait. So it's very, very interesting. Let's go through some of the comments. J.O., how many fights before Buatsi can get a world title shot? So I asked that question to Joshua earlier, and he said it's getting close, maybe 2 or 3 more. The right opportunity, if it comes, though, I think you get the impression that he will take it. N, upsets are always a possibility, but I don't think it is here, considering the opponent's only been boxing for 4 or 5 years. Buatsi by brutal stoppage. Kurt Campbell, Buatsi round 6 stoppage. J.O. Buatsi stoppage between 6 and 9. A lot of you picking the stoppage for Buatsi. Buatsi needs to drop down to 168. That's interesting from Boran BKK. Second Johnson is too big for Buatsi. Callum Johnson, that must be. Callum Johnson versus Joshua Buatsi would be a cracking fight. I think the disappointment is that we've lost them to 2 different promotional stables at the moment. Steffi Ball is going to come and join us on the stream very briefly. Steffi, just on the white mark there. Yeah, I just had... Yeah, I know. We're nearly through it now, you would hope. So, God willing, this is the last bubble, certainly. Great to see you. Yes. Thought we'd be seeing you in happier circumstances. Terry Harper, we've just had the update from Ray. Yeah, I mean, everyone's gutted. But I suppose the good news is that the operation's gone well today for Terry.
Everything's gone well. I mean, it's been an hard week for her and been a hard week for myself mentally for what were at stake. There were, you know, everybody knows we're on the road to undisputed and unifications, and then the others fighting, and very deflating. Terry, we're looking at it as there was so much happening, and she feels it's just been taken away. But she's only 24 years old, and it's just one of them that I believe. I do believe in everything happens for a reason, and maybe the reason was that Iran might have gone in that fight, and then she's lost everything, lost the fight, lost the unification. All eyes are on it. It was main event on this massive occasion, but you know the hand will be fully healed, and will not be back until everything's in order. And it is sad really when you put it into context. Well, she'll be back. She's only a baby, 24-year-old. The journey's not even started yet, so you just got to be positive.
Yeah, you take the words out of my mouth. Better that it happens in the last final spar before the first round of the fight, and she has to box the fight one-handed. Exactly.
Do you know what? She'd had no problems whatsoever with his hand and this injury. We've followed the advice of Mike all the way through, the surgeon, and it was literally a last bar, a last round, and literally the last punch. There must have been 20 seconds left on the clock, and straight away she threw the right hand and just cocked it back, and that is Terry's shot of mechanics, long backhand, and just straight away. And it's like, how bad is it, Terry? You just tell on her face how bad it was. And Mike, bless him, he got it straight in, no messing about.
Mike Heaton, isn't it, hand surgeon?
Yeah, Mike Heaton, he got it straight in the next morning, and we've been training late on the night to acclimatise to times Terry would be boxing. So he got us straight in first thing, and the plate had snapped, fracture, and just one of them. We've got to be positive. She's coming in on Friday, so everybody will see. Surgery's done her just today. She is in on Friday, so it'll be nice to see her and having her around, and I think she'll be uplifted when she sees everyone, and everybody's been asking about her, so we'll be back.
It has been a week of mixed emotions for you. So I am a Jamie McDonald fanboy. I'm going to say it live on air. I don't mind. Jamie McDonald gave me some of my best memories working in this job. He has decided that it is the end of the road. What a servant to British boxing. British, Commonwealth, European, World Champion, has to go down as one of our best ever at the lighter weights. Probably doesn't get the credit he deserves, but what a journey he was on.
Me and you, every time we meet up on these big shows, we always end up talking about Jamie, don't we? As stories, because he's a great personality outside the ring. But it's like that people will know Jamie as of late, these world titles, but as you know, we travelled to Brentwood in January, and it was freezing with 3 weeks notice, and it was a very close fight. It's sick. People say we're controversial, could have gone either way, and we took the chances. And we weren't supposed to win. Napa were actually scheduled to fight 6 weeks later in France for European against Jerome Arnold, and Jamie just come in, ripped up the script. We then got on a plane, and I can remember having a discussion with Dennis Hobson, and it was, should we take this? You know, we've just won this, and like, yeah, Jamie will beat Jerome. And it was just probably one of his most comfortable wins away in France. That wasn't supposed to happen. And then we come, and then 4 defences, some great nights at Donegal. Stuart Hall stands out. What a fantastic fight. The atmosphere were unreal. And then to bring world title to Doncaster against Julio Cesar. And then his story just continued and continued. But 100%, Jamie don't get the recognition he deserves. But he's not a social media man. He did no speaking. He just old school, hands up, elbows in.
He didn't even watch Mayweather Pacquiao when I asked him. He didn't care.
I've just been telling Ryan Rhodes, when he was European champion, we were doing a top table and with Roberto Duran. And Roberto Duran was sat beside him, and I'm like, Jamie, this is Roberto Duran. He won at greatest of all time. He didn't know who he was. So he gets his phone out on BoxRec, sat outside of me. He goes, mate, he's crap. I goes, what, you know? He goes, look at his defeats here on he's on BoxRec looking at it. I said, Jamie, you got it all wrong, man. The man's a legend. And that's how naive he was to boxing. And it just, you know, fantastic career. And I'm so happy. He texted me yesterday just before he was going to announce. And he says, he's been in and out of my gym now for the last 12 months, in, out. And I'm just so happy that he's finally come to terms with he's done with boxing. And like you say, what a servant and what a career.
Yeah, I'm going to let you go because I'm going to bring in Jason Cunningham. But I am going to say thank you for the memories, Jamie McDonald. I do nothing but laugh when I think about some of the madness of his career, and particularly in your gym, actually. I mean, there was one time that they said if you do your workout, you can have a fruit pastel. No, that would be his motivation. Yeah. You done a lot of rounds with him. Not in preparation for this camp, but
not in preparation for this camp. Only 3 weeks' notice, but there you go. We managed to get people in.
This is a big box ticking exercise for you. I heard you say that earlier, that you've watched everybody from the camp go in and out of these bubbles and get their opportunities, but you were desperate for one and you get it now. And another example of staying fit, staying ready, because if the phone rings, you want to take it, and that really does fit the bill now.
Definitely. I mean, although I've not been active on the boxing side in the ring, contesting myself, but I have been busy all the way through these lockdowns. I was helping Terry for Jonas, so went through that camp with him, main sparring partner. Same with Michael Conlon. I was down there in where is it, down south anyway. I forgot it really well. Yeah, that way on anyway. So I was down there, obviously. Red Hill rings a bell. Anyway, yeah, obviously sparring Conlon for not his last contest before that. So a good couple of weeks down there. So I've constantly been at it, plugging away. But then I have not jumped into, like I said to you earlier, I've not jumped into any opportunity. I wanted it to be the right one, and this is the perfect opportunity.
What about Gamaliel fight? I mean, look, we spoke about it earlier, but people won't have seen that yet. You've already fought Calify, his brother. We don't often get that. A chance for you to win the European title. Talking about what that does to fighters and what it means. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're saying like this is my world title fight. That's great to hear. What a massive opportunity for you that you plan on taking with both hands.
Yeah, well, it is, isn't it? Your next fight is your biggest fight. Obviously, I've been in some brilliant names, some good fights, whatever, but the next one is the biggest. And at my age, 31, you know, I don't see no starting again, no rebuilding from this. So this is my one. Everything's going to this Saturday night. And like I told you earlier, I'm very, very confident. I believe I have got everything in my arsenal to beat Gamaliel, and I'm all wrong for him.
And at a weight that you feel that you can be your best at. I mean, I look at you now and I think, how on earth were you doing the lighter weights? I mean, you're big for the weight, even at this weight.
I started out at flyweight, didn't I? Believe it or not, like I said.
I can't believe it. No, I can't believe it.
Neither can I. I've never met that again. But yeah, I don't know. I've come through. I've had my losses. I've come back. I've learned from them losses. Like I said earlier, it's all experience, and it's brought me here today. And I believe that even with 3 weeks' notice, I believe that like this is supposed to happen. This is the one. So, like I said, everything's going Saturday night, and I'm going in there fully confident.
Thank you very much for joining us. Wish you all the best. Go well. Yeah. Nice one. Okay, it's coming thick and fast. Straight in the ring to Belfast Tommy Mccarthy, who makes the first defence of the European title that he won against Bilal Lejeune. Tommy's made no secret that he sees himself moving up to world level, but the European experience is no bad thing. Tommy's obviously ranked quite highly across all of the governing bodies, I think, apart from the WBO, which is obviously the belt that Lawrence Okoli has at the moment. He's at 7 with the WBC, 5 with the WBA and the IBF. So that's Ilunga Makab, who's the champion at the WBC. WBA have got Arsene Goulamirian as the super champion and Riyad Mehri as the regular champion, and Maris Breedis at IBF. we think that Breedis is going to go up to heavyweight sooner rather than later, so that could be the route. What about McCarthy's journey to this point? Well, I don't think it's an overstatement that it didn't look great for the future when he was stopped by Richard Riakporhe in March 2019. Richard was much less experienced at that point. And I put it to Tommy McCarthy yesterday, did you ever lose hope that you would get to this level? He said, no, never. It's about staying true to the cause, trusting my ability. And a lot of it is about getting the right link up. You can see in the ring there on the pads is Pete Taylor, father of Katie Taylor. These two linked up just before the Fabio Turchi fight over in Italy. He doesn't really count that as a full camp because of the way it went down. So they had that short camp, then a longer camp for Bilal Lagoon, in which Tommy broke his thumb in the build-up and decided to roll the dice, thought he would have enough about him to get through that fight. And one of the questions that I'll ask him after this is, without the broken thumb, does he think that he could have perhaps forced a stoppage with Lagoon? It was a bit controversial afterwards. Our pundit, former Cruiserweight World Champion, one of the great Cruiserweight World Champions, felt that Tommy perhaps had reached his ceiling. When I put that to Tommy, he used some words that we can't use on the stream, but said Johnny has earned the right to have that opinion because of where he's been, but respectfully disagrees. I should just add that Johnny Nelson did say at the time, I really hope he proves me wrong. Let's get back to some of the comments here. Anthony Hazel gutted for Terry Harper and the team. Yeah, I think you could sense that in the voice of Ray Doyle and Steffi Ball. Terry, as I said, will be here on Friday, so hopefully we can have a catch up with her. Cathal Murphy, Dos Santos will win 100%. Mac Attack on the back of the t-shirt there. We were lucky enough to get a little bit of access to the training team last night. Tommy McCarthy went for a late night pad session about 9:30 after Man City had won the league. And there was a time when these two couldn't do an abundance of pad work because of the injury that Pete Taylor had to his arm, which he has been working on in his own spare time, that he had in a sling for a very long time, and seems to have got enough movement and enough freedom back in that to do effective pads. And I know that how much that must have hurt not being able to do that and having to watch on. So great to see Pete Taylor back nearing full fitness as well. Let's hand back over to David Diamante.
If we can get a nice round of applause out here for the defending European Cruiserweight Champion, the Mac Attack, Tommy McCarthy, and his trainer Pete Taylor. He's in a tough fight against the Romanian Alexandru Jur on Saturday night.
Tommy McCarthy just going to have a couple of photos. Pete Taylor and Tommy McCarthy. So Tommy is just going to make his way up and join us now on our live stream. Tommy, just on that mark on the floor there, we're live on our social media platforms. Good to see you. That's the second day in a row we've had a little peek at the pad routine with Pete Taylor. You look very fluid. You look in great shape. I know Mark Dunlop was saying, you know, one of the best he's ever seen you. Testament to the hard work you've put in behind closed doors.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, you can't see the hustle, as they say. So we've been working away behind closed doors. and I've ticked every box.
You know, with these bubbles, we're grateful that we get to have a lot of access to the fighters. I haven't seen much of Alexandru Jure walking around the hotel. Have you seen him yet? Have you come into contact with him to size him up at all?
Yeah, I seen him this morning at breakfast. Only told him now, just seen him.
Did you push in front of him in the buffet? Is that what you're saying?
Give me the porridge. No, I seen him this morning, but just nodded at each other. But then I didn't get to see the head as well. He was sitting down and I was standing up. Yeah. So, but sure, it's too late to even say anyone up now because they can't change it. We're going at it on Saturday no matter what, so it doesn't matter what says.
I've already asked you this earlier in the week, but you walk around here as the European champion. I know you see your level eventually at world title level, but how proud of a European champion are you?
Yeah, I'm the proudest in the country. I'm the only in my country, Ireland. I'm the only European champion at the minute, and I'm just, it's such a prestigious title. So yeah, I'm proud as punch, pun intended.
It also puts a target on your back, though. I've already seen Callum Smith on Twitter today calling you out for a fight. Once upon a time, you were the guy looking in, calling other people's names and wanting fights. I just wonder how it feels now to be nearing the top of the tree and having people call you out. It must be an absolute pleasure, I suppose, having waited your time.
Exactly. This is what you wanted. I wanted people to be bargaining from over the gate, So this is what you want to be. All the boxers want to be the top spot, and that's me at the minute in terms of Europe. But as you say, I want to go on and go up another level, but it all comes down to the Saturday night, so I'm not looking past Joe. I know he's dangerous, and that's my 100% focus is on Saturday.
Well, you have spoken on the stream about Pete Taylor, the link-up you've had with him, and the fact that you didn't have long before the Turkey fight, then you had an injury coming into the Bilal Lagoon fight. In terms of potential, is there still more to come from Tommy McCarthy? It feels like you have been around a long time, which I know isn't strictly true, but is there still more that you can show us, still levels to your game that you haven't shown us yet?
Yeah, the boxing game is like a unique sport where you're always improving, no matter what age, no matter how long you're at it. You can always learn, always get better. So I can see my level getting better in the gym and sparring and it. So it's all just delivering on the net. And as you say, it feels like I've been around for so long, but it's just because I was getting in every camp I could and trying to get all the experience, and my name's been ringing out. So I know what I'm capable of, and as I say, it's like doing a test in school. You do all the revision, but it's all on test day. You have to deliver on the net.
I was terrible at tests in school, I have to be honest with you. And I did
revise.
So I did revise and couldn't then produce on when the paper was open. Just before I let you go, don't know if you want to give a prediction, but how do you see this fight going on Saturday? How do you want it to go? Obviously, knockout in the first 10 seconds is presumably what you want, but what do you expect?
Yeah, I've trained to try and stop this guy. I've trained to, not to go 12 rounds. But I'm expecting a tough fight. I know George's in shape, and he's here to win, so he says. So I'm expecting a tough test, but I'm prepared for whatever anybody brings. So I want the fight to go my way and establish.
What time are you having breakfast tomorrow? I just want to make sure we don't clash at the buffet, because obviously I'm a big believer in the fried breakfast. Not that you were there this morning. I'm not going to go for the porridge, I have to be honest.
8 a.m, that's my time, so I don't want to see you in the lane. If I see you...
Mac attack, I don't want to see you. Thank you for joining us. Go well. See you on Saturday. Okay, so Gamal Yafai just going through a little shakeout. 12 rounds for the European Super Bantamweight title. It is the first defence of a title that he won on the road, and really, which was well deserved. I think it's fair to say he has had an up and down time over the last 3 years, has Gamal. It really has been a roller coaster, so it's good to see him back in the UK on a big UK bill. And actually there was a touch of emotion in his voice earlier when we interviewed him about what would the Gamal Yafai of 3 years ago say to the Gamal Yafai that's here now. And there was a tiny little bit of emotion there, because he has been through the mill a bit. Cal Yafai's with us. Cal, can I just stand you on that white cross there? You can take your mask off for this one. I was just saying, when I interviewed your brother earlier, there was a real touch of emotion there when I said to him, what would the Gamal Yafai of 3 years ago, what would he say to the Gamal Yafai now, bearing in mind everything that you've been through in terms of roller coaster of emotions? And there was so much emotion in his voice. it just shows how mentally strong he has been to stick at it and eventually get his hands on that European title, which I know he's desperate to keep hold of on Saturday.
Yeah, he's a different fighter. He's a different human being altogether. He's matured into a man finally. But yeah, he's a hungry fighter, living the life, you know. And I think you'll see a career best performance from Saturday night.
What was it so special about that night in December? Obviously, were you over there with him? I mean, just to go over there and rip the belt away, and there was nothing better than going to sort of enemy territory and doing it. Was it just a case of the stars aligned and finally the bad luck that he's had and the niggling injuries that he's had are all behind him now, and it was just the right time to finally arrive on the scene?
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Is he'd had a torrid few years, you know. Had a bicep injury when he boxed on the Carn Bill in Birmingham. Tore his bicep and then had an operation back in training to have a fight in Italy April the next year, and then on the last week of the training for the fight he tears his other bicep. So you know, you can imagine what he's going through, you know, thinking, when does this leave me now, and then having to wait on the sidelines. He had a comeback fight later on in the year, and then with COVID and everything put him out even longer, and then finally he just had to go straight into his European challenge, and you can see after the fight when he won it how you know how much it meant to him. Even I was like, you know, you've done all corners now, jump, come on, let's go. you've celebrated enough, come on, let's go. Let's go. But yeah, it meant a lot to him, and it meant a lot to us all as a family, you know, after what he's been through, and now, you know, he can build on that.
There's this unbelievable narrative which you boxed Jason Cunningham, British Super Flyweight title, October 2015, I think, in Birmingham. That feels like a long time ago, but we don't often get that. Have you given any inside sort of track to what Gamal can expect, or is it just like, you know what you're doing, don't need me to tell you?
Yeah, you know, I've given pointers on the fight. I remember the fight like it yesterday. I watched it a few times, you know, in the last couple of weeks or so, and I know what Jason Cunningham does. I know what he does good, I know what he does bad. He's a gritty fighter, he's a tough fighter, and you know, people might bank on experience, but one thing is, Jason Cunningham is an experienced fighter, but he's experienced in losing. He's losing to the top fighters, and I think it will be the same thing once again on Saturday night.
Just one word on your future before you go. Two things I've learnt during lockdown. One, you're one of the funniest people on TikTok who's out there, so you can give a plug to your TikTok profile. Two, didn't know that you were such a good drawer as well. Yeah, I know, it's out there for everyone to see. And three, what about the future? What do you want to do next? Is there anything on the horizon for you?
Yeah, my hunger's at an all-time high. I've had a long time out. I'm excited. I can't wait to just get back in there and show people what I've been working on. I've been working away from home for the last 9 weeks, and I'm just excited to get back in there. I've got myself back into shape. I'm learning new things, and yeah, I think everyone will see an improved version of me when I come back in the summer. And at a new weight division as well, so that'll see me at my best. Yeah,
that was going to be my next question. Is it up in weight now? Was it a struggle making the weight? Does that have any bearing on your performance in the ring, or is it just a case of we all get older and making the weight is that a bit more challenging, or is it just I want new challenges, I want to step up in weight? No, I think it's no secret. You know, I struggled very badly to make. I didn't want to say that. I mean, some people might think it's a secret. Yeah, I know how hard you had to work to make that weight.
Yeah, it was very difficult, and I think that told in my performances in my last 3 fights. My 2 before that, I should have been blowing them kind of opponents away when I'm at my best, and I wasn't. So and getting in the ring with an all-time great like Chocolatito, you can't afford to be weight drained. You can't afford to be anything but no excuses. Like I said after the fight last year, he's a great fighter. I learned a lot. I learned more in that fight than I have in my 26 before that. So I'm really excited to be back, and yeah, I just can't wait.
Tremendous, great to have you back. Look after yourself. See you later on in the bubble. Going to tag one brother in. Going to bring in the champ. He's not listening, thank God. He's not. No. He can still knock me out by looking at me. Don't worry, I'm under no illusions. Gamal, European champion, making your first defence. How does that sound? Been a long time coming. I asked you about it earlier. I felt like real emotion in your voice when put into context everything that you've been through. You're here now. I feel like you've arrived finally.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I've been waiting for this
for a good while, for a good few years. I didn't think there's times when I didn't think it'd probably come, but you know, I stuck at it. I worked hard, you know, and I'm here now.
Getting it and winning the belt, getting your opportunity and taking it, that's a big thing. Keeping hold of it, that's the real challenge now. I mean, we've seen people when they sort of reach their Everest, that's it, you know, and they fall off the edge of the cliff after that. Now you've got that European title. How determined are you to make sure you keep hold of it on Saturday?
Very determined. You know, I feel like I beat a better fighter last time out. You know, so I should be, you know, defending it quite comfortably now. I feel like I'm the best in Europe, and you know, I've just got to try and edge myself to the, you know, world scene, and you know, I'm not too far off.
Just ask the same question to Tommy McCarthy. Albeit at this stage of your career, even now at European title level, do you feel that there are still levels to come that you can go on and push on now?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you know what I mean. I feel like, you know, I'm only getting better. I'm enjoying boxing. I'm loving boxing. You know, I feel like I'm improving loads in a short space of time. So, you know, I'm looking now to defend my belt on Saturday, and you know, carry on smashing it, improving all the time, and getting better.
What about Jason Cunningham? How much do you know about him outside of the fight that you had with your brother? Obviously, that was down at a much lighter weight, and back in 2015, a lot's changed since then. What sort of things are you expecting him to bring to the table?
You know, I expect him to be quite tough, you know, he's probably, you know, thinking he's going to try and push on late and try and, but that ain't going to work, you know. I'm fit, I'm strong, you know, I'm different to my effort to what I was 3-4 years ago. You know, I'm a fully fledged grown man. I feel like I'm the best I can be. I think I've got loads more, you know, levels to, you know, to get up to, and I will. But like, you know, I feel I'm too good for this level, and I'll prove it Saturday night.
Thank you for coming and joining us. Good to have you back, injury-free and flying now. So it's really good. And I'm going to go and hide because I tough talked to your brother when you weren't around. Don't tell him I said that. I'm a coward. Nice one. Thank you, Gamal. Go well. So that's Gamal Yafai, 12 rounds for the European Super Bantamweight title against Jason Cunningham, his first defence. That is Gamal. Okay, we're rattling through them. As I said, Giovanni De Carolis is in the ring now, the 36-year-old from Rome, Italy. Going to call him a veteran. He's a former WBA regular super middleweight champion, and he takes on Lerone Richards on Saturday. Adam Langley, looking forward to seeing Dakers on the undercard. Yeah, I think there's a little bit about Solomon Dakers that everybody's intrigued to see him turn over. Very talented amateur. Alex Felton, how is Billy Joe Saunders? Is he okay? Eddie Hearn is not here yet, but he should be here for the press conference tomorrow, hopefully, so we should get a chance to speak to him and we'll get the latest update. But at the moment we know as much as you from the social media posts, which Billy Joe said he was recovering okay, so all of our best wishes to Billy Joe Saunders as he recovers from that terrible injury sustained at the hands of Canelo Alvarez on Saturday night. So Lerone Richards, there is a fair bit of hype around him, and this is the next step up in terms of quality. The vacant European super middleweight title is on the line. Obviously Richards is relatively new to the Matchroom stable, made his official Matchroom debut last December. He won over 8 rounds against a fairly negative Timo Lane. He's a good fighter, skillful operator, but there are questions there about how good he is. Can he push on past European level to world level? It'd be interesting because Giovanni De Carolis should ask those questions that we want answers to. De Carolis is physical, does the basics very well. He's a little bit roughhouse when he needs to be, gives it absolutely everything. Looking at the CV, he has got 9 defeats on his record, but you have to say that's because he was matched hard and tough, and some of those defeats come earlier in his career. Doesn't seem to be backwards in comings forwards, doesn't mind taking fights on the road. I put it to him earlier, I said, does it translate the road warrior? And he did understand. Said he feels the tag of the underdog and going into his opponent's backyard is exactly what he wants, and that's when we have seen the best of him. I think those of you that have YouTubed him or know anything about him probably will have seen the 2 Vincent Feigenbutts fights that were on some Sauerland shows, which were very, very good fights. He's had the 2 against Feigenbutts, 2 versus Tyrone Zoiga. Tyrone Zoiga was obviously beaten by Rocky Fielding, but he was a former world champion himself. De Carolis won 1, drew 1 and lost 2, but all 4 fights were close. He could have won 3 and lost 1. My colleague Andy Clark surmised who commentated on them, and I think that's probably a fair enough assessment. And he's boxed at a level where Lorraine Richards hasn't been yet, so it will be very, very interesting. Just while De Carolis is going through a few motions here, I'm very briefly going to steal trainer Dave Caldwell away. Dave, I'm sure you will be an interested spectator with this. You've seen De Carolis up close. I'll stand you on that cross there. We can see him over your shoulder. You're interested.
Oh, is that a short jump?
No. Let's not get into this. It's early. It's only Wednesday. We've got a lot of time to go here, Dave. How dare you? You've thrown me there. Yeah. I'm not standing on a box either. We're on a stage. De Carolis, you will have known a lot about him from what you've seen. You just come in and had a look there. Yeah. I think we know what we're going to get, which is a seasoned operator. He's roughhouse, does the basics well, and he's very, very powerful. Have I missed anything out? Is there anything that you've seen that I haven't identified there?
Like I said, experience is a big thing. This is Laurent's 15th fight, only his 2nd fight with me. We see there, he's very stiff and everything. He's very muscular, very, very stiff, based on power, based on strength, physical strength. 35 years old. That he needs to make work for him rather than work against him. Laurent needs to make his age work against him. Laurent, everybody knows what Laurent's about: skills, sharpshooting, boxing. But he's also got to be able to deal with the moments when De Carolis gets on top of him and he doesn't get out-muscled, or he doesn't try and he doesn't waste too much energy when De Carolis is up close, making it physical. So Laurent's got to be switched on all the way through, switched on at range, switched on up close, but also be able to pick the spots on the inside so De Carolis doesn't feel as comfortable when he does get inside, if he gets inside.
Yeah, easier said than done, but is controlling the distance one of your main points here? You're saying when he gets up close, presumably one of the things you're saying to Laurent is, look, don't make it his kind of fight. If you've got good feet, you can control the distance, make him chase you, make him miss, and then make him pay. It sounds simple when I say it like that, but I suppose there is an element of that you will have spoke about.
Yeah, 100%. And if you look at De Carolis, you look at his fights, look at it on the pads, look at what he's doing, he's built for Laurent to look good. If Laurent does what Laurent Richards can do and goes in there and performs, lets it flow, just be himself and use his skills, he should look good in this fight. But also what we had to prepare for was in case there are spots when De Carolis does get up close, because what happens with fighters that are fluid, that aren't used to getting hit, that don't like getting hit and work on defence, when somebody gets on top of them and makes it physical, sometimes that takes a lot of energy out and then become ragged for the rounds down the line. You can't afford to let those spots become ragged.
Dave, I'm going to let you go because, 1, I don't want to get in trouble for keeping Lorraine Richards waiting, and 2, I feel like you're angry about the short joke which you brought on, not me. Giovanni De Carolis does speak a little bit of English, so we're going to ask him just to come and have a very brief word with us. We spoke to him earlier, and as long as people understand that I'm going to try and simplify my questions, and we'll see what we get. But he's a very confident character, very at ease in the bubble here. He's been around the world and seen everything. Giovanni, I'm just going to stand you on that right cross there. Very basic questions. You've done a little workout now, and you've had a day out of your room in the bubble. How are you feeling? Had a chance to soak up the fight atmosphere. You seem happy, you seem excited.
Yeah. The atmosphere is very, very, very beautiful. I'm happy to stay here. The bubble is fantastic. I'm staying in my room. I have everything. My trainer, I relax. I stay very strong. Today I feel my power and I'm happy, I'm ready.
You seem a very happy traveller as well. You've been to Germany and won. You've been across Europe and won. You don't mind travelling. You seem to perform best on the road away from home. Why do you think that is?
Oh, I don't know why, but when I go on the other country, I have a great power in me. I'm happy. I want see on the people my boxing, my mind, my power. I'm happy, only happy.
I asked you this question earlier, but I'm going to ask it again for people that are watching. You've already won a world title, and you can retire happy knowing that you went to the very top of your sport. What would it mean to you to win the European title, a title that you're very proud of? What is your continued motivation?
Oh, because my motivation is for the fight only, not for the title. I would like fight in very good organization, matchroom. I'm happy only to fight and not for the title. After this fight, I don't know. Now my mind is on Saturday, and stop it.
Your English is very, very good, but I wonder if you want to look down the camera. This will be available across Europe, and if you've got Italian fans in the UK, they can watch this. Do you want to give a message to your fans in Italian?
Oh, yeah. In Saturday in the ring, I bring my heart, and see you when I return in Italy, and proud of Italy. Yeah, bye.
And do you want to do it in Italian as well, in Italiano?
Oh, ciao ragazzi, seguitemi, sarà veramente un grandissimo match, vi porto tutti quanti nel cuore, ci vediamo sabato.
Good luck, thank you for coming and joining us, go well, thank you. I took a punt there and went with in Italiano, and he understood, so before everyone asks if I speak Italian, I absolutely do not, so is that, actually Jay, is that a 22-foot ring in the background? Let's not get into that again, let's not. Mr. Jacks, loving the show, good commentary. Very, very grateful. That's not me signing in under my aliases and complimenting myself. Let's just have a look at some of the comments. A few of you stating that Billy Joe had stated that the operation had gone well. Okay, so keep your comments coming in across all the social media streams. Try and get to them if we can. Sam Jones is going to jump back on and join us, just because, Sam, you obviously work with Lerone Richards. A good step up.
Yeah.
Dave Colwell's just told us that Lerone himself believed that Lerone is European level.
Yeah.
He has to beat Giovanni De Carolis, who's a seasoned operator. Just how confident are you that we'll see the best of Lerone on Saturday, and he will prove that he is capable of going beyond European level?
Hey, look, De Carolis is a former world WBA champion, so you don't get given those belts. Lerone has to be beating him. I think he's at the twilight of his career, De Carolis, but he's a seasoned campaigner. If Lerone's not at his best, he'll struggle. But Lerone's look on fire in the gym with Dave at the moment, and we expect him to get the job done and look really good in doing it, because that's really important with this fight. I want people to see Lerone go through the gears, so that's what I hope we're going to get.
If we're being hypercritical, Timo Lane, and Lerone was very, very honest about this earlier, Timo Lane felt the power early on and went into defensive mode. If we're being hypercritical, it's that Lerone, against a very, very negative defensive fighter, couldn't quite find the shot to unlock him and get him out of there. That says a lot about Timo Lane, and I don't want to sound disrespectful to Timo, but I think he would admit that he shut up shop after the first round. Can Lerone go through the gears? Will he need to go through the gears to get against De Carolis?
100%. As you go through the levels in boxing, you have to go through the gears, and Lerone will have to do that on Saturday night against De Carolis. I expect him to really bring it for the first 6 rounds, but I think Lerone will put him in a box very, very early. When I say box, I mean like stamp his authority on the fight very early, and that's what we expect Lerone to do.
Do you have high hopes for Lerone? I know you wouldn't work with him if you didn't, but
yeah.
Do you believe that his future is, as a world champion, that he can go on and win this European title on Saturday and then push on?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, you look at Lerone. He was very inactive a year or so ago, and that didn't help his progression. But he came back after a long layoff, after a shoulder surgery, and boxed Tommy Langford and won a unanimous points decision. He then went on to beat Lennox Clark, and we saw Lennox Clark in his last performance what he did to a big prospect like Willie Hutchinson. So I think you can't really always make those comparisons because styles make fights. But I think that win was that win was not.
It gets better with age.
Correct, it gets better with age, and I think this fight here, Larone's under no illusions. He needs to put on a good performance because Timo Lane, yeah, he was a journeyman, as they say, but Larone probably could have gone through the gears. But it's not Larone's instinct to be a knockout merchant and look for the knockout. Larone is a boxer, but he punches a lot harder than his record suggests.
He is also one of the nicest people in British boxing, and he doesn't do the trash talking. He doesn't do the brash and the. I'm not going to say the entertainment side of it, but
no one's got it out of him yet.
No, maybe not. But we're coming off the back of a Derek Chisora fight week, so
Yeah.
everything pales in comparison. But
Yeah.
it's something that we sort of said about Joshua Buatsi, who's like coming on later on. It's
similar type character.
Don't sort of mistake my quietness as a weakness. Just because I'm not screaming and shouting and banging the tables and saying this and that doesn't mean that I don't have it in me. And I just wondered, the Caralis, we know he's going to be physical. It's not going to be trash talking. There's a big language barrier there. But he is going to try and get inside and work Larone. What's he like as a character? He's very funny on social media, but he is very softly spoken and doesn't do a lot of talking outside the ring.
Honestly, Andy, Larone's character's not really come out yet on camera, and I want it to, because he's a very funny kid. He really is. He's absolutely hilarious, Larone. He can sing. I taught him. No, but he's.
You had a few drinks at the time.
Probably, yeah. He can. You know, he can sing. You can see he's incredibly charismatic. He loves Disney music. So I want his personality like that to come out more, and I'm sure it will.
Yeah, we wish him all the best on Saturday. Thank you again for coming on. We will catch you later on in the week. So that concludes Lerone Richards' media workout. He takes on former world champion Giovanni De Carolis, the Italian visitor. That's for the vacant European super middleweight title. Lerone Richards, only 14 fights in. He turned pro back in September 2013. But time is of the essence now. He wants to build some momentum, wants to put some big wins together. He's working under Matchroom now. He's ranked at, crept into the top 10 with the WBO. So the future is very, very bright for Lerone Richards. But he must avoid any slip-ups against Giovanni De Carolis.
Championship on Saturday night.
Okay, so Lerone is going to come and come and join us on the stream. Just looking at some of the questions that's come in. What's your favourite colour? I am a blue. Lerone, just on the cross on the floor there. Very much enjoyed the photo shoot at the end there. Just strike a natural pose, why don't you? We've seen Giovanni De Carolis. That's the first time we've seen him going through the motions. Dave Caldwell said he's exactly what we expected. He looks heavy-handed. He looks physical. He looks rough. He said he's going to try and get inside, get on your chest. Just tell us what you're expecting on Saturday.
Exactly that, but we've prepared for that, and I'm ready. I'm ready now. This is my time.
Dave said one of the keys was, look, control the distance. You can make this the fight that you want to make it if you keep him at the end of your long levers and stuff like that. It's easier said than done. Can you expect some tough times in this fight?
Well, of course I can box very well on the back foot, I can box well on the front foot, but I can also sit there in the pocket as well. No one's seen that, and I'm very good at sitting in the pocket. And you're going to see that. I'm going to have to do it on Saturday night, but I'm prepared to do that, no problem.
Do you feel that we still haven't seen the best of you yet? That actually the key is momentum and experience, and now as we start to ratchet up the levels in quality, that the quality of yours will shine through?
Absolutely, and look, every camp, every fight I have, I'm going to have to improve and get better. This is just another one, and I'm looking to showcase my skills and show everyone what I'm all about.
Yeah, you haven't been working with Dave Caldwell that long. No. Is there elements that you've worked on behind closed doors that we haven't seen yet? And can you give us some sort of inkling as to things that you've tried to improve behind closed doors?
I always want to improve my technique and my boxing IQ. I've been working alongside Danny Wilson as well, working very, very hard on my conditioning. My conditioning's always been great, but I want to be able to go out the gears now and play with my lungs, and I'm able to do that now, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I get the sense that you're enjoying boxing again. Very rarely do we see you where you haven't got a smile on your face.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I love the sport, that's why I do it. And you're going to see a lot more smiles the years to come.
Yeah, well, brilliant. Good to see you smiling now. Go well on Saturday. Thank you. Go well. So that's Lerone Richards takes on Giovanni De Carolis on Saturday night. So this is one of the moments we've all been waiting for. We want to see Daniel Dos Santos and what he's about, and he is in the ring now. The 30-year-old from Pont-Saint-Maxent in France, 15 fights, 15 wins, 8 of those have come inside the distance. He's been a pro since May 2016. I don't think I'm overstating this. We're getting an opponent for Joshua Buatsi. It hasn't been easy. Buatsi obviously is someone that carries big profile, big reputation, and with that you're going to have to pay someone a lot of money to take this fight. But Dos Santos, we spoke to him earlier, unbelievable story. He's been in the army in France. He's found himself in trouble following the death of his brother. He slipped into the wrong sort of lifestyle, mixed with the wrong sort of people, and ended up in prison. He turned his life around, found boxing. I mean, how many times have we heard that story before? He found boxing and he's made it work for him, and he wants to be seen as an example of what hard work can do. You can turn your life around, so we have to give him credit for that. I'm not overstating it though when I say, looking through the record, there isn't anybody that stands out. He hasn't boxed the calibre of opponent that Joshua Buatsi has boxed. And one of the worries for him presumably will be the distance. This is the first time that he's been scheduled for more than 8 rounds, and he hasn't been beyond 6 as a pro. But despite the fact that this is the first time he's travelled outside of France, if he is nervous, he certainly isn't showing it. He has been a shining light around the bubble. It doesn't seem to be phasing him at the moment, the weight of expectation. He hasn't been a recluse, he hasn't been shy and retiring. He's come down and fulfilled all of his media obligations so far. And he, in his own words, has described this chance as life-changing. It will change his career, it will change his life, and it will change his family life. He said that is the only motivation that he needs. When I asked him, do you know Joshua Buatsi? Had you heard of Joshua Buatsi before you took this fight? He said everybody knows Joshua Buatsi, which is telling in itself, I suppose. Buatsi, there is hype behind him, there is profile behind him. As an Olympian, that is natural and to be expected, but I think words getting out about Buatsi, and I think everybody is looking towards world level sooner rather than later. But I don't get the impression that Dos Santos has read the script, and if there's anything that we've seen during this lockdown, it is that the away corner, the B side, cannot write them off. JG, there's a Buatsi is the future of British boxing. Big fight nights. Agreed. A lot of people focusing on the fact that this is Joshua Buatsi's first fight under his new trainer, Virgil Hunter, who we saw arrive in the bubble. So he will be here tonight, we're hoping, synonymous with the rise and superstardom of the career of Andre Ward. The two were a perfect fit. Buatsi made the decision to break away from the training team that he had and add Virgil Hunter, base himself over in Oakland, away from home. Said it's not like Sheffield in the amateurs where you could jump on a train or a car and be home in 4 hours. This is a 10-hour flight. Can't afford to be homesick, can't afford to miss home comforts. That's one of the reasons I've done it, to focus my mind, to go back to basics. So we will see on Saturday if he shows any of those improvements under Virgil Hunter against the unbeaten Frenchman Daniel Dos Santos, who has just wrapped up his pad session there. They just did a little shakeout. Not too much to take from that. So Dos Santos made his debut in 2016. He was in his mid-20s when he started. Boxed twice that year, 5 times in 2017. He said, you look on paper and I've stopped people and people think I'm a puncher, but there's a lot more to my game than that. If I have to box, I can do. I'm not too carried away with my power. He hasn't boxed since a first round knockout against Ivan Nikolov, whose record was fairly uninspiring back in April, but he has been active, and we know that activity is key here. Let's have a look at the shape that he's in. You would say from that he is not struggling at the weight. He looks in very, very good shape. Andreas Kyle joining us late. Is this Daniel Dos Santos? Yes, this is Daniel Dos Santos, an unbeaten 30-year-old from France. Just going for a gentle shakeout here for the cameras. Boxing out the southpaw stance here. But there isn't too much to go on. If you type Daniel's name into YouTube, and when we asked Buatsi how much he knew about him, he didn't know a hell of a lot. When I asked him, does that matter, he threw it back to the amateur days where you wouldn't know who you were fighting a lot of the time until the day arrived. So he said, I'm not one of those that spends hours and hours focusing on what my opponent does well. I just want to focus on what I do well. Be interesting to see if there's a little bit of feeling out process between Virgil and Joshua Buatsi. They haven't had a huge amount of time to work with each other, and it is their first fight together. There probably is going to be a bit of a getting to know you process. I think we saw a little bit of that with Roy Jones and Chris Eubank Jr. last week. It's very much about discovering what sort of style he's got. So Daniel is just going to make his way up onto stage and give us a brief couple of words. Daniel, just on that mark on the floor there, a chance for us to see you work out. You didn't give too much away there. Just how much are you enjoying this whole fight week, the whole event, and how excited are you to get going on Saturday?
For me, it's amazing. I think some people are, with an event with an event like that, some people can have a lot of stress or things like that. For me, it's totally different. I'm excited because I was dreaming to be a part of this moment, and now I am here. So I have to enjoy. I have to keep focused, of course, because it's my job. But I have to enjoy this moment because who knows? Tomorrow maybe I'm die or something like that. But I have to enjoy right now. It's a really pleasure to be here with all of the people.
Yeah, enjoying the moment. Very, very good message. What about what you showed us there? Just went through a gentle workout. In terms of preparation, are you as fit as you can be? Have you had ideal preparation for this?
No, I'm really good. I'm really sharp. I am ready. I am a boxer who train every time. I am not waiting a fight for go in training camp or stuff like that. I am always in training, and right now I am really sharp, really ready for the fight.
What would a win do to your career and your life on Saturday? Just how much does this mean to you?
0 to 100. It's like 0 to 100. Really, it's something that I was dreaming for. Now I have the opportunity. I have to prove that I am in this position for a reason.
Will you go back upstairs now and relax, or are you going to hang around and watch Joshua Buatsi work out? Do you know all that you need to know, or are you going to do a little bit more homework?
Of course. This is like a show for a fan, for people. They have to enjoy for watch in Saturday night. This is not what Joshua Buatsi is going to do on Saturday night. Maybe a lot of things, but no, he's going to do his job, I do my job, and we're going to meet Saturday night, see who's the better.
Do you want to give a message to your fans back home in French that are watching? We're live at the moment, so you will have some fans in the UK and at home. Do you want to give a message to everyone back home?
In French. Bah, merci à tous les gens qui me soutiennent. Merci pour le soutien, pour l'appoint qu'ils me donnent. Je vous remercie tous d'être là auprès de moi. Vous faites partie de ma famille, des gens qui me soutiennent depuis le début. Donc merci à vous. Et samedi, on va essayer de ramener la victoire en donnant tout le possible. Merci.
Brilliant. Wish you all the best on Saturday. Thank you very much, Daniel. Go well.
Graham Turner, nice guy. Best of luck to him. Yeah, he does come across very, very well. Good luck to him indeed. Buatsi looks the business. Real throwback. Fighter plus with Virgil in the corner. I think we'll see a punch-perfect performance.
Buatsi's just jumped between the ropes there with his old amateur coach Mark Gillespie. The two have been a formidable force. I'll have to ask Mark how long they've worked together. But certainly since Mark has been there, and this isn't a new thing on Fight Week. Those of you that are going to be surprised to see it's not Virgil in there putting the gloves on, but you can see Virgil at the back there, just through the ropes next to the desk. I don't quite know. Doesn't matter. Sorry, Mark Gillespie just asked me how long. However long you want to take. No rush. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once here. I'm floor managing as well as talking nonsense on the stream for you. So Virgil Hunter is taking his top off there. So I have to be honest with you. I don't know what we're going to see here. Is Virgil going to get in and do a little bit with Joshua Buatsi? Is he just going to stand and watch from afar and give a little bit of advice? It will be interesting to say. With these media workouts, a lot of the time we don't really know what to expect, what we're going to get, how much a fighter's going to do, how much they want to do. Are they going to show everything? Are they going to sort of keep some things under wraps? Katie Taylor famously, and we laugh about it every time, does the bare minimum. She comes in, punches a tennis ball attached to a hat and a little shake out, keeps her cards very close to her chest. I remember in the build-up to Povetkin White 1, Povetkin let us film a whole training session where he wasn't just doing it for the cameras, he really, really went through the motions, and that was great to see. I get the impression that we're not going to see too much from Buatsi here, but let's wait and see. I don't want you to turn off because I've said that.
Red Eye 1. Johnson is the best 170 pounder in the UK. That is Callum Johnson, obviously, who works under Joe Gallagher, and those two, I think there's a lot of arguments to be had about where everybody fits. Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yard and Joshua Buatsi, where do they all fit in that group there? I think a lot of people will point to the fact that Callum Johnson has boxed at a higher level, so he has every right to claim number one. I think if you put that to Buatsi, he wouldn't disagree, but he would say that he believes he will, given the chance, he will be the number one. Tie myself in knots here because I don't want to forget anyone or offend anyone. So Buatsi, 13 fights, 13 wins, 11 of those coming inside the distance. Has to say though, the gut check came in the last fight against Marko Kalic, where Buatsi suffered the eye injury early in the fight. Kalic had come with very little hype. Have to say, perhaps too much wasn't expected of the 11-0 Croatian. Although he was a decent international amateur. He'd beaten my friend Alan Babic twice. Alan, if you're listening, don't attack me next time you see me. But Kalic sort of brought the fire, and it was a good fight, and the swelling came up under Buatsi's left eye pretty quickly, and he had to dig in, and he answered a few questions as to what he would do under pressure, what he would do in a hard fight, and he found a way of getting on top of Kalic and turning the tables, putting him down and stopping him in the 7th. So that did answer a lot of questions about Buatsi in a gut check, which I'm sure people will look at Kalic and say, who's Marko Kalic? But I think he was one that shouldn't be slept on. His stock certainly rose in defeat as well. That was a defence of the WBA international title, which is on the line on Saturday. Also a WBA ranking as well. Buatsi's at 3 with that particular governing body. What do we think's next for Buatsi? I don't want to look ahead too far, but should he win, he is highly ranked with the WBA. In fact, I think he's at number 2 with them. I said 3 previously. I think he's now risen to number 2. Dmitry Bivol is the super champion, and we know Bivol very well. One, because he's boxed on our shows before, but those of you that watched the Sky Sports box office event, he was in with Craig Richards, and Craig Richards gave him a very, very tough night and pushed him all the way. You would think, boxing politics aside, that shouldn't be a difficult fight to make. Then you've got Artur Beterbiev, WBC and IBF champion, and Joe Smith is the WBO champ. But Buatsi is progressing nicely. 13 fights, he's 28, so time is on his side. Just from talking to the whole camp, there is no rush. They will take the chances when it comes. And you can see Joshua Buatsi just doing some pads with Mark Gillespie, and Virgil Hunter is at the back there. He is masked there by the ring post, but he is behind that ring post with the mask on, black t-shirt there, Virgil Hunter. Very much a teacher, quite a quiet man, doesn't say too much, doesn't chase the limelight. I remember from those famous Super 6 documentaries, he was thoroughly entertaining, terrorising Carl Froch around all the media events. He's got a very dry sense of humour. He's a very funny guy as well. And we're hoping to catch up with him later in the week, so hopefully we will give you some content. Some AJ Fury predictions coming in. I am not going to get involved in that because whichever ones I read out, going to get accused of taking a side. So much talk about that. Let's just hope they've got some news coming soon. Who else is on the bill, Anthony O'Brien? Just run you through the bill one more time in case you weren't with us earlier. So this is the main event. Joshua Buatsi takes on Daniel Dos Santos, the French unbeaten challenger. Terry Harper was due to defend her titles, unification bout against Choi, but she suffered a hand injury in her last spar. She had an operation today, so Buatsi steps in at the top of the bill now. He's on the bill anyway, but he is now the main event. And we've got 3 European title fights. Gamal Yafai takes on Jason Cunningham for the European Super Bantamweight title. Lerone Richards, who we've heard from, takes on former world champion Giovanni De Carolis for the European Super Middleweight title. And Tommy McCarthy takes on Alex Jure for the European Cruiserweight title. That is a first defence for Tommy McCarthy. Also got the English title. That is Dalton Smith against Lee Appleyard. And the professional debut of the heavyweight Sol Dakers. And here is Virgil, who is going to put the pads on. So a little warm up there with Mark Gillespie. And the vastly experienced trainer, Virgil Hunter, is going to show us a little bit on the pads here. So what will we see here that the two might show us that they have been working on over in Oakland? Joshua said, you might think that I've been seeing all the sites out there in America. I haven't. I've been gym, home, gym, home, repeat. It hasn't been sightseeing. It's been a hard task, hard journey out there. Buatsi himself said to us when he first went out there on a Zoom call that you might have seen across our social media channels, when he was asked what
what is the reason for going out there? What do you want to work on? He said, we are going to work on the basis of the fundamentals and work our way upwards, back to basics, back to the drawing board. But he doesn't see it as a change of training team. He sees it as a welcome addition, that he's added Virgil Hunter to the team that he's already got here. Rizwan Hok, Buatsi versus Yard. That is a fight that I think we could see in the future. It was building before Anthony Yard hit a couple of speed bumps in the form of Kovalev and Lyndon Arthur. Lyndon Arthur obviously got the bragging rights there. But that domestic scene is really shaping up nicely now, and be interesting to see if Buatsi is interested in getting involved in that mix, or if he sees himself above. I don't know, not domestic fights, but maybe he would feel that he would have to take one of those fights if a world title was on the line, that he might not be interested in the sort of fights without a world title on the line. Can you just imagine though, as fans, Johnson, Buatsi and the other names in some sort of, not tournament, but round robin with the world titles changing hands, and such a buzzing division domestically, you could really see it taking over a real powerhouse. Chris H. Joshua Buatsi is a vicious finisher. Yeah, that's not up for debate. If he sees a finish, he very often takes it. James Brady, love this kid. Him and Okoli are awesome. Yeah, talk about the rise of Lawrence Okoli. Been very, very impressive. The source. Would love to know this conversation when Buatsi gets out. We'll certainly be asking him what they're talking about there. I wonder how much of this has been not just physical changes, but a difference in approach from a mentality point of view. I hate me keep going back to the same thing, but one of the things Chris Eubanks said about teaming up with Roy Jones Jr., teaming up with someone that's been there, seen it, done it, been in the biggest of fights, is they change your mentality, when to fight, when not to fight, when to engage, when not to engage. So it'll be interesting just to see how much of this comes down to decision making, changes in decision making for Buatsi. Andre Ward, obviously, probably Virgil Hunter's most famous pupil, was a defensive genius. Offensively, he was superb as well, but certainly renowned as one of the best defensive fighters of our generation. Lewis Truscott, Buatsi is British #1. He's above that. Should fight Kovalev before world title fight. What a good fight that would be, Buatsi Kovalev. John Cahill, absolutely love your suggestion. Buatsi versus Bolotniks for the European. I think Ricard Bolotnik in the Golden Contract made fans out of all of us. What a character. Was not in a dull fight the whole way through.
and you know, he's got pedigree now. He's beaten some very good fighters along the way to winning that golden contract. Buatsi, Bolotniks, you've got my vote, John, definitely. Buatsi first went out, I think he was first introduced to Virgil Hunter when he boxed at MSG on the AJ Ruiz undercard. That was the first time that the two had a conversation. Joshua made no secret of the fact he was a big admirer of Virgil's work, of Virgil's mentality, of the way Virgil conducts himself. Went over and had what I think he describes as a trial in December of that year, to see how it would work out, to see what a link-up would be like, and he's been in Oakland ever since end of February, start of March. So the two have had long enough in camp together, and whether or not that's long enough for him to make wholesale changes, if indeed wholesale changes were what he felt was needed, but I'm sure the two would have developed a relationship over the period, so it would be interesting to hear from both as to what they both feel they've got out of this link-up so far. Semi-foil, another one. Buatsi v Yard is the fight. Still such a lot of love for that fight, even though Yard has suffered those setbacks. What a London derby that would be. You could imagine that selling out an O2 Arena without any problems. Dan Savage, I don't know if I'm crazy, but Buatsi doesn't look that big compared to other light heavyweights. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he's very much in the Carl Froch mode of just boxes at his natural weight. His natural weight is light heavyweight. Be interesting to find out if he felt that he could boil down to 168 super middleweight and be effective. But more so, just feel like he is a natural light heavyweight, and how much an advantage that must be to not having to train the weight off, that he just trains and boxes at his natural weight. It doesn't strike me as someone that blows up in weight between fights. Kurt Campbell, you can tell Buatsi is a student of the game. Yeah, I think that is one of the things you can take from this, that he's absolutely zoned in and focused on everything that Virgil Hunter was telling him there. But also picked the brains of Andre Ward, obviously one of the best to do it at super middleweight, and moved up to light heavyweight to win a world title. When I asked him, had he met him, had he been in contact with him back in February, he said, funny enough, he's just messaged me now. So when I saw Buatsi today, I said, yeah, did you meet up with him? He said, yeah, he's been down to the gym a few times, and they've shared a coffee and a couple of chats. So it'd be really interesting to see if he had a chance to pick the brains of Andre Ward. And I'm not for one second suggesting that Andre Ward was in the gym training to make a comeback at all. But every time I see him on social media and he's training, I do think, is he coming back at the age of 37? But I'm not starting wild rumours there, I don't think he is. Rizwan, Buatsi is so versatile. CC banger. Buatsi would dismantle Yard. It's all talk at the moment. It would be good to see them meet, but Anthony Yard's on the comeback trail. Obviously unlucky in the build-up to his most recent fight. I think he had an abscess or certainly a tooth problem that he's overcome now. So hopefully it won't be too long before we see Anthony Yard back in the ring. We've obviously got Hosea Burton as well on the comeback trial. Surely looking to force his way back into the domestic picture. And I think we all got to see a little bit more than we thought we were going to there with Virgil Hunter and Joshua Buatsi, the first time that they have linked up.
The main event here in Manchester, England on Saturday night.
Okay, so that is everybody that you're going to see tonight. Everyone has come in and done a little bit of a workout, but if you hang on, Joshua Buatsi is going to join us on our live stream, so we'll get a chance to have a quick word with him, and certainly we'll get a chance to quiz him on the new link up with Virgil. Maybe we can get a bit of a clue as to some of the things they were talking about there. So I'll give it a plug now. If you want to see tomorrow's press conference, Buatsi Dos Santos, wherever you've consumed this stream, we will be back here tomorrow just before 2 o'clock. It kicks off at 2 o'clock. Weigh-in, I'll get some times for you, but I'm assuming it's a 1 o'clock start on Friday for the weigh-in. That will also be live streamed ahead of Saturday night's fight night. The obligatory photos with David Diamante, the MC there, getting a photo. Buatsi just having a few more done. There's some heavy tunes going on this stream today. I'm not sure if I am enjoying it anymore or if it's a headache. People are looking at me saying it's awful. I don't want to seem uncool, but and if you are the artist in question, I apologise. But really getting the fans going. It's not exactly Sweet Caroline, let's say that. So Joshua Buatsi, just going to jump on the live stream with us here. Thank you for everyone that's tuned in and stay with us. JB, just on the mark on the floor there, I don't think we were expecting to see you go through so much of a workout with your new training there, Virgil Hunter. I think you were listening intently and having some discussions there. Can you give us a little bit of an insight into the things you were discussing and what did we see there? Going through some real routines.
There's not much to say. You saw, man. Look, we're like, 2-3 days away? So there's not much. What I'm showing there, it is what it is. Come Saturday, you have to fight, man. So just went through the motion, did a few things. It wasn't too hard, but I'm sweating already, do you know what I mean? So everything's cool, Andy. Can't complain, man.
It's a very basic sort of question, but there will be a lot of people that haven't sort of followed your whole progress since you went over in February to the States. Have you enjoyed it? What's the link up been like? It must have been different. I mean, we are in a pandemic, so like, you know, you're not getting a full gauge of what life in America is like, but what was it like going over there, and do you feel it's been beneficial to you?
Very different, and 100% it's been beneficial. You know, I've been back for like a week or so, and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I went out there. Even when I got out there, I was like, you know what, I'm happy to be here. Different country, different teachings, different methods, different styles, but I'm more than willing to make it work, man. You see what I'm saying? So it's good. Like I said, on Saturday night, the aim is to win. If we look good winning, cool, but the aim is to win.
Yeah. I always say winning is all that matters, but the performance, you know, I know you want to put the performance in as well.
Always.
Just a little bit about what you've been working on with Virgil behind closed doors. How much of that is physical and technical, back to basics, and how much of it is a different sort of mindset? They're talking about the way you approach things, a different approach mentally as well. Is it a mixture of the two?
In terms of the boxing side, yeah, it's the fundamentals, the foundations that we've been going over and over again. I've noticed that most people believe in the same thing, but the delivery is what matters. It's a bit different, do you know what I mean? But ultimately, yes, jab more, do this more, move my head more, work the body, work the head, whatever it is, it's the same old philosophy that everyone's got. Like I said, it's just the delivery. And yeah, the work's been done now. I sparred yesterday, so that was like, as we know, the last session that I do for the week. So right now it's just maintaining the weight and then getting ready to box.
A lot of it is on you as well. I mean, it's all well and good going to America, but you've got to be willing to learn, to open your eyes a little bit, to trust in the teachings that he's giving you. Mm-hmm. How open have you been to what he's been suggesting? That, you know, it's not, I suppose it's not for you to really question, but the focus is on you as well. You know, it takes two to make a good partnership.
For sure, Andy. And I've always got a quote that I say to people, and it's that whenever I enter a gym, I take the approach of a novice. I want to go in there like I don't know nothing, so that I can learn and be taught. I want to be a sponge to soak up everything I'm being taught. Whereas if I go in there thinking, nah, I know this, I know how to do that, I may not respond quite well to it or, absorb as much as I should do. But when I go in the gym, I'm like, I don't know anything. Teach me what it is that you believe in. Teach me the science that I believe you have been teaching people. So whenever I'm in the boxing gym, no matter where it is, Andy, I just walk in there like with a clean slate so that I can leave with something new and add to what I know. So that's just my approach.
You don't strike me as a sort of character that's peering around doors and having a last look, but Daniel Dos Santos came in and did a workout. Did you have a look through and just to see what he looked like, shape him up? Have you seen him in the bubble or have you even come across him yet?
I haven't seen him. I want to say I was late to this, but I wasn't. I think I was just on time.
You were
so,
on time, okay.
Thank you. So no, I haven't seen him yet. I know he's here. He's ready to fight. He looks like he's up for it as well, which is good. Like you said earlier on, he said he's fighting for his life or to change his life, whatever it is, man. We all got a story. I got a story too. So Saturday night, it's all on the line.
Can you just give us one more on Saturday? Look, in an ideal scenario, you just want to be better than your last fight, improve every time, show improvements. What can we expect from you on Saturday? What do you want to get out of it?
It'll be a different fight with a different style, but it's always the killer instinct will be there. If someone's hurt, as you know, man, I'm there to take them out. And as I always say, get them before they get you. That's my theory.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for coming and joining us on the stream. Wish you all the best. We'll catch you tomorrow at the press conference. That is Joshua Buatsi, who has very nice of him just to hang around and jump on our live stream there. That concludes tonight's action. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you to everyone that sent in your questions. Come back tomorrow. I promise we'll get some different tunes on, unless you're into that sort of thing. Good luck to you. You've been raving away at home. So 2 o'clock tomorrow is the press conference. So wherever you logged on today to find this press conference, to find this open workout, come back tomorrow for the press conference. Pleasure's been all ours, and we will see you tomorrow.